Hey, this is a special edition of SDR News Live. I'm Andy McCaskey from SDR News, and as you probably know, we're getting packed up and getting configured and ready to go for HP Discover in Las Vegas coming up June 11, 12, and 13. However, we're going to be running interviews, but there's a lot of other stuff going on, and I've invited Calvin Zito, the HP storage guy, to talk to us about what are some other opportunities that you'll have at Discover, and maybe if you're not at Discover.
Hey Andy, great to be on the show today. Thanks for having me, and give us a chance to talk about all the things going on with HP Discover.
You know, it's always good to get a different perspective. Of course, there's all kinds of things going on in the size of the event. How many folks do you think will be attending the event there in Las Vegas?
You know, given past history of the event in Vegas, I'm guessing it'll probably be somewhere around 10,000. That's a typical kind of number, and I'd expect there to be pretty similar numbers this time.
Well, I think that there's such a variety of subject areas to discuss, and a lot of things. It's not exactly a three-ring circus, but there's several rings going on at once. If you're not there, how can you keep track of what's going on?
Well, there's a couple ways. I know that the HP Discover team is putting a lot of effort into doing a lot of live streaming of some of the bigger things happening, things like keynotes. There's going to be inside the Discover zone, which is where the demos are. There's an innovation theater, and there's going to be presentations there, kind of almost TED Talk type of presentations from executives across HP. And those all are going to be online. And I can give you that URL, Andy, to post in the blog of where folks can find that.
Yeah, we'll make sure that gets into the show notes. And of course, we are going to be at the SDR News live stream channel at new.livestream.com. And am I correct that these other events will also be on live stream?
Yeah, they're going to be live streaming them, and then I think as quickly as they can after they can, do post-production on the video, they're going to put them up on a YouTube channel that we have for HP Discover, and they'll be available on demand, hopefully within about 24 hours of the actual live stream of some of this content.
Yeah, one of the things as a video producer that I really enjoy is a chance to see how one of these keynote presentations is staged. It is really millions of dollars worth of equipment behind the curtain, and sometimes we've had a chance to see that. Do you think you're going to be able to give us a tour of that this time?
You know, that's been a highlight for me too, is going behind the scenes and seeing that. And you know what? I'm not sure we put that on the agenda this time, so we're going to have to get it on the agenda quickly, because it's amazing. You're right, to see the technology that's behind the screens when they're doing a live keynote. And you've seen it before, I've seen it with you, and it's pretty amazing technology to watch it.
Yeah, it is. So the keynotes are really, they're big, highly produced, highly staged sorts of things. But it sounds like this innovation theater is going to be almost the opposite, kind of a personal story.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. I think this is kind of a new concept. I think, we've certainly done presentations in the demo theater area, and it's tended to be demos. Somebody stands up and demonstrates a product, and they have either a live GUI showing them running a product or something that's much more technical. I think this is going to be, like I said, much more TED Talk type of thing, and it's going to be some storytelling, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some of these myself, because this is a new concept of something we haven't done before at HP Discover.
Yeah, well, and what we're going to be doing from an SDR News standpoint is really trying to focus more on one-on-one sorts of interviews. We've got people from cloud and software and services. We've got some folks from Intel. I think we may have some folks from Microsoft to come in. They've stacked me up. I think I've got 23 interviews that are going to happen over the 3 days.
Yeah, I know we're keeping you pretty dang busy, and I know there's a couple storage ones happening too. In fact, I'm trying to grab the times for those. For those of you that want to watch some of the storage stuff that's going to be happening that Andy's doing, I know we've set up one for Tuesday at 12:45, I think is the time, with David Scott. David Scott, of course, runs the HP storage business. He's the Senior VP and General Manager of HP Storage, was formerly the CEO of 3PAR. And he'll be talking to you, and I got a feeling you guys are probably going to be talking about some of the news that's coming from storage at HP Discover. I think you have another storage interview on Wednesday, and that is with CMAC Nazarek, who is one of the principal architects at HP 3PAR. And I think you're going to have a really good time talking to him, because he's a very deep technologist, was intimately involved with 3PAR, and at the moment 3PAR is getting a lot of attention in the industry because of just how much it's taken off since HP has acquired it and now expanded that portfolio.
Yeah, and it's always so much fun to talk with people, not only to learn about the products and so forth, but to try and get a little bit of insight into some of the struggles that they have. You know, there's a lot of paddling that's going on underneath the surface for a smooth product introduction, isn't there?
Yeah, you know, I think most people that get involved at this in any degree know that there's always these trade-offs you have to make between, you know, how quickly can you get the feature out, how much does it cost to do it, and prioritizing it against, you know, the resources you have to get it done, and how important is this to customers. And it's always a trade-off to, you know, hopefully you pick the right balance and do the right thing, but it creates certainly challenges for engineering organizations as they try to you know, get the list of prioritized things done for the next release.
Yeah, well, I always try and work that in a little bit if there's time in a particular interview. So I guess the call to action for you folks is to take a look at some of the links that we're going to put into the show notes here and tweet them out. And Calvin, you're going to have like a document, more of a summary of the storage-oriented things, right?
Yeah, and the one thing I'd also point to is there is a relatively easy URL I can give you now, Andy. It's go to hp.com/go/storage/next era. And on that page, there is a link that says Remind Me. And if you click on that, you'll get a calendar invite to remind you to attend a press conference that we'll have on Tuesday morning. It starts at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, and you can watch the live press conference with Dave Donatelli and David Scott. There's lots more things I can send you, and I'll send you that so you can share it with folks, and they know when to tune in, where, and at what URL to see the content coming from HP Discover. So
are you going to provide the MapQuest details for your secret sushi restaurant?
I think I am going to keep that secret, but Andy, you're definitely on the list, because I know we've got to go there a few weeks ago when we were at NAB together, and hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did, because I want to go back.
Absolutely. Okay, there it is from the HP storage guy, Calvin Zito. Thanks for joining us, Calvin, and thanks to you for joining us here on SDR News Live.